Good evening, everybody. We are back here again on a Monday night for another fun time of Make It With Me Monday. Hopefully you've all had a chance to take a peek at that post on Facebook to know what you're supposed to have ready for tonight, and that you've got it all cut and ready. I just need to switch out my adhesive because I was running low. All right, I'm gonna give everybody a few seconds to hopefully pop in. If you remember from last week, I think I mentioned you guess or you pick what I use type thing. I posted several times throughout the week about you guys picking the color scheme and the stamp set and that kind of stuff. And so just as a reminder, you guys picked the color palette of Mango Melody. Hi Kathy, good to see you tonight. Melon Mambo and Calypso Coral. And then you picked Painted Poppies as the stamp set and Coloring with Blends. And then for accessories, you picked Pearls. All right, so I wanted to show you, I actually did two samples for this, one with more stamping and blending involved, so you could see a little bit of that. And then one with some more using just the die cuts from that match the poppy set. All right, so here's the first one. So the Mango Melody is the card base. And then I took the, let's call them the blotchy stamps from that Painted Poppies set. And I created my own background on basic white paper with the three colors. So there's the coral and the mango and the mambo are all in there. And then there's the melon mambo cardstock here. And then I'll bring this a little closer so you can see the blended part there. I used all three colors of blends in both lights and darks and just kind of made it all blend together. Thanks, Mary. I thought this was a really fun one to do. And then for the pearls, I went a little crazy there and filled in the center. Hi, Ruth. Good to see you tonight. Filled in the center of that poppy with one large pearl surrounded by a bunch of smaller ones. And then I used stitched rectangles to punch that out, up that white square, or rectangle, and put a little phrase on it. So that's the first one. Thanks to everybody who went on and voted for color schemes and sets and everything. And then here's the other one. This one is on black cardstock, and I cut out the matching die set has both ones that will cut out flowers from the set and ones that cut out pieces to just make on their own. So I did one of the bases in each of the colors, and then I cut out black outlines for each of those. I added Wink of Stella to the inside, so that's why they're a little sparkly. I think as you turn it, you can kind of see it. Those are sparkly. And then I used that little border type stamp a couple of times and then colored those parts in with the blends. And that's where you're gonna see the blend work on this one. And I had a couple more pearls inside each of those little flowers. All right, so that was two different takes. Actually, where is my, grab a piece of white paper so you can see this one a little bit better. Maybe? For the one time I don't have white paper handy. All right, here we go. There, you can see that pop off a little bit better there. So that was two different takes on what you guys gave me to work with. So I thought that was really kind of a fun challenge for me to give, have you guys pick out colors and stamps and tools to use and stuff like that. So I think I might try that again in the future because I thought that was a really fun, again, it was a really fun challenge, and it was nice to see you guys. Hi, Mary Lynn, good to see you popping in tonight. It was really fun to have you guys be a part of that. It might be difficult to tell, but there's another layer here that's done with an embossing folder that's going to be in the new August to December mini, and I'm not sure that's really showing up. It's very, very fine detail, just adds a nice little textured background. It's called Time Worn Type. So there's a little bit of wording, and then there's a little bit of like kind of like texture mixed in with that. So if you already have that catalog, you can take a look through there and find that one as well. All right, so that was that from the challenge this week. Again, thanks everyone who gave me that. And I think we are ready to get started stamping tonight. And I forgot to bring my piece of paper that tells me all of your instructions. All right, so give me 1 second to find where else I've written that down, because I have it handy-ish. Okay, so you should have a card base that is a 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. I'm going to be using Coastal Cabana. And then you should have another piece of cardstock that's 3 1/4 by 4 1/4, and mine is Flirty Flamingo. Then you should have a neutral piece of cardstock in about a 2-inch circle So that could be white, vanilla, whatever you consider to be a neutral color. And then you should have some stamps and you know, either words or images or whatever you need, and coordinating inks to fill in this little circle. You need to have some ribbon, kind of thin, so maybe like 1/4 of an inch to 3/8 inches wide. I have a piece of our white seam binding. I believe mine is about 11 inches. I'm not going to have you guys measure it right away because I'm going to show you a couple different ways you might use it, and then you can just cut off what you need. And then you need some DSPs. So you need 3 pieces that were 3/4 inch by 4. And I'm using Daffodil Delight from the Brights DSP collection. And then also from that same collection, I have another piece that is 3 by 4. And remember these pieces, these 3 pieces here, I said you could do these either in a DSP or you could do them in a coordinating cardstock. So you might have 3 pieces that are another color of cardstock, or you might have some that are a DSP. Totally cool, whatever combination you guys came up with on your own. Okay, so grab your stamps and your inks, and we're gonna go ahead and decorate up that white circle. All right, just need to set that so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, I have a Daffodil Delight, Coastal Cabana, and Flirty Flamingo, as you may have guessed by what I had laid out there. The stamps that I chose to use, I've showed you guys a little bit of Daisy Garden on my Facebook page this week, and I wanted to point out there's a set that we already had called Daisy Lane. And the Daisy Garden is full of ones that look just like this. Hi, Michelle. Nice to see you joining me tonight. That are in that big background stamp, there's a bunch of daisies that look kind of like this. So it's a really great coordinated one. It has phrases in it that you could definitely use anywhere in addition to that stamp set. So that's where I'm going tonight. All right, so grab your circle, grab your stamps and your words or whatever you're gonna do, and go ahead and fill in your circle with whatever you like. I am just gonna take that daisy and stamp it a couple times in my circle. And I'm going off the edge a little bit, which is totally fine. I think it gives you a nice, more complete look if you have things go off the edge of a piece of paper or cardstock, sometimes than trying to have have it all contained. Gives it a little more randomness or willy-nilly haphazardness or something like that. And in the end, it makes it look a little bit more finished. Okay. Then I'm gonna do, whoops, I'm not gonna drop it, I hope. I'm gonna do one in Coastal Cabana. All right. And I was going to show you, I was gonna show you masking. So these first 2 I did not mask. I had to just stamp them right on top of each other. And between my cabana and the daffodil, you can see they overlap a little bit. You almost get a little sense of green. So if you want to not have the colors overlap like that, what you can do is you can cut a mask. So what I did is I stamped the stamp on a piece of Post-it note that still has a little bit of the sticky on it there. And then when I'm gonna go do this last one, I'm gonna cover up what's already there with that. And then it will not reach over into that blue area. So when I stamp my coral one, and then I take off the Post-it note, you're gonna see it looks like the coral one's hiding behind the blue one. Okay, so there's a couple tips for you if you ever have some images like that that you wanna have really close together, but you're not really pleased with the way they might look blended. Use a mask. So you just fussy cut an image on something that's removable. It could be any kind of piece of paper, and you just use a really light adhesive on it. I like to use Post-it notes because they're just a little bit sticky. And then you lay it over what you've already stamped, and then everything else that you stamp after that is going to appear like it's underneath what you've already put on there. So just something to keep in mind as you guys are filling yours in. All right, I am actually not going to put any words on this one for me, so I am done with my stamping. I'm going to set that aside. All right, then we're going to take our card base, and if you guys are not cut up this far, or you need another second, just kind of shout out a hold on or something. So we're going to get that done there, and we're going to need adhesive. There we go. Okay. You're gonna take then your 3 by 4 piece of DSP and the 3 1/4 by 4 1/4 cardstock, because that's gonna be your layer for that. Okay, so adhesive on the back of that. Oop, I just started this one. There we go. Didn't want to go at first. Come on, smudge. All right, so mine is gonna go on to that piece right there. Set that aside. Now you're gonna take those 3 strips that we had that were 3 1/4 by 4. I'm gonna start at the folded edge in about the middle and put one down, or it'll end up horizontal across the card. But for me, visually, I can see the middle better when I'm looking at it this way. All right, so you've got one in place. That's basically in the middle of your card. And then the other 2 are gonna go above and below. And you guys go ahead and leave however much spacing you want in between. You can either have them be really close together, or you can leave them a little further apart. Okay, whatever you think looks good for you. That's what I like about some of these. It's a little bit of a cook's choice thing. You don't necessarily like it exactly like mine. That's totally cool because it's your project and you should like the end result. Okay. All right, so we've got those parts done that far. We are gonna wanna take, hopefully you guys have your dimensionals and glue dots handy. So grab your dimensionals and we're gonna put some on the back of this piece right here. So because this is a little larger piece, I am gonna do one in the middle just to help with the, I guess you could call it sagging. When you get bigger pieces like that, the middles can tend to flop down or get pressed down. So I usually put something in the middle of that to support it. Okay, so dimensionals on the back of that piece, and it's gonna go across those 3 strips that we just made. And almost done with my adhesive here. The most exciting part to watch, right, is removal of the dimensional layers. All right, that's gonna go right across that piece right there. Mine's a little crooked, I think. Move that over. There we go. That's a little better. Okay, everybody this far, shoot out some thumbs up. Hopefully I'm not going too fast tonight. I feel like I've been running around like a crazy person today, so just naturally, I feel like I'm talking fast and going fast, and I don't want to lose you guys. Okay, so like I said before, you're gonna take your ribbon, which is, I measured mine out at about 11 inches, and then I'm gonna weave it back and forth really large across this area, kind of like this. I'm not gonna adhere it down yet, I just wanna show you where I'm going with this. So we're gonna go back and forth kind of like in a pattern, and then your circle's gonna go on top. So it depends on how much ribbon you want sticking out of the sides. You can start with just doing it directly on your circle, and you might end up with a lot smaller. See, I would cut off this tail, and you'll end up with just that little bit. Okay, so take a look at what you have and decide what you like, and then you can either do the glue dots directly on the back of the circle, or you could put them down on the piece of paper. So I will kind of do it both ways, and then you can see how that's done. So I'm going to take a glue dot to the end of my tail, close to the end, and put it right there. Then I'll take another one to put right about here where it's gonna land, okay? So now it's landing there and it's gonna come back this way. So the glue dot is holding down right underneath that little loop, and then it's gonna come back this way again. So we'll do the same thing, put a glue dot down about where it's gonna land. Oh, helps if you actually pick the right one. There we go. So about where it's gonna land, and then it's gonna come back, and we'll cut off the extra, okay? So there's one way, directly to that paper. I'm gonna lift real carefully, and I think I can get those glue dots back off without too much damage. Okay, so like I said, that was one way to do it. The other way to do it is gonna be to take your glue dot to the back of your circle. Oops. There we go, back of your circle. And again, do the tail sticking out a little bit, like so, okay? And then you go back and forth, and again, you're gonna put your glue dot right about there where it's gonna land. Sorry, I didn't realize I was so far over. Okay, so about where it's gonna land, wind it back. So now you have a loop over there, and there's already a little glue dot stuck right about where I need it, so I'm just gonna leave that. All right, your other one up there where you need it. And again, here where the tail would end up. And then if you've done it this way, you're just gonna cut off what you don't need there, or if you did it directly onto the paper, cut off what you don't need. Hi, Jessie, good to see you tonight. And then we're gonna take a couple dimensionals again, and I like to make sure that they are on the cardstock itself. not necessarily on the ribbon, because the ribbon could be, depending on what you use especially, it could be a little satiny or slick like that then, in which case it won't stick as well if you've got a dimensional on it. All right, so you're gonna take that and put it just right in the middle. All right, so there is the basic version of what we did. Okay, so you've got your circle, you've got your ribbon behind, and again, any way that you want to have that ribbon showing and looking, you guys go for it. I know that was a little bit different, a little bit of manual dexterity involved. So if you're not quite that dexterous, you could just cut, like, do a bow, knot, whatever you have coming off of that. All right, so let me show you a couple other different ways I did it. Here's one where I wanted to feature the DSP a little bit more, so I dropped the circle down and I did a really tight weave of the ribbon behind it. So this is from the Poppy DSP, and this is the early evergreen ribbon. So you can see there it's got the same concept, 3 strips across, a big piece of DSP with a frame. Again, I wanted to show off more of this pattern because it was really pretty, so I dropped my circle down a little bit. All right, and here's one I did with the Artistic Expressions DSP. It's got a little bit of shimmery gold foil in the DSP itself. You can see how that's reflecting off of there. So I actually took gold foil as my pieces here, and I used a glittery gold ribbon in the back. And then I stamped in the Pear Pizzazz, which goes with the cardstock, or the DSP that's in there. And the background of that is Pale Papaya. All right, and then I wanted to show you too, here's one I did, but I flipped the direction of making it horizontal instead of vertical. So same thing, it's got 3 strips behind. I'll bring it up a little bit. They're very much blended in here. This is from the Tidings Designer Series paper that's in the main catalog, and the poinsettia set that's in the main catalog. And then this twine, the gold twine is in there to give that a little reflective part there. So that's a really quick and easy, cute Christmas version of that, and the phrase would come from that poinsettia set as well. And here is, I'm gonna bring back this one. Here's my stepped up version. I changed out the background to have black become involved so that things popped out a little bit more. And you can see I alternated my colors here instead of here. So here was the daffodil and the flamingo, and here I just put the daffodil and flamingo behind and let the black pop the rest of it. I added the phrase from the Daisy Lane set, so there's the smile. And I did a layer, scalloped circle behind that one to help those daisies pop off as well. Went really wide with the ribbon as opposed to just the little short one like I did over here. So there is the stepped up way to do that one. All right, so hopefully I didn't lose you guys. I know, like I said, with the ribbon, it was a little bit wonky to get the hang of how to do it. But I think it's really kind of a fun layout, and it's a great way to use up, especially designer series paper like this and this, where the patterns are really bold and take over a lot of space because it's doing most of the work for you as far as bringing the focal point and the attention and stuff like that. And that piece itself is cut 3x4, and as you know, most DSP comes in a 12x12. So therefore, it's going to be really easy to have those lay out nicely for you in that setting. You're going to be able to get a lot out of a piece of 12x12 DSP. All right, let me move up a little bit more so you can see them all. All right, so there are the cards for tonight. This one still wants to hide. Close enough, there we go. All right, so there are the cards for tonight. Quick reminder, the Designer Series paper sale ends today at just before midnight, so make sure you get those orders in if you are still wanting to get some of that paper that's available at a discounted rate. There's some really cute patterns in there. I've used the poppies tonight. I've showed you guys a lot of the other ones as well as we've been going through this. I know myself, I stacked up on the hand penned. I think it's my go-to designer series paper in the big catalog this year. It's just, I love it, love it, love it, love it. So again, that ends tonight. Remember, tomorrow those catalogs go live. We get all of the holiday goodies and another round of celebration, which will be really fun. You can pick out free product when you place a $50 order. It'll be super, super, super fun. Thanks, guys. I think they're really cute too. So I already have a couple of you have contacted me and asked me to put orders in right away tomorrow. So if anybody else wants to do that, I will definitely have an order going in right away tomorrow to get going on everybody's holiday stuff. So you can email me or call me and I will be happy to add those on and get those out to you. If for some reason you don't have those catalogs yet, make sure you reach out to me so I can get them in the mail to you. So you can see them right in your hands. I know you can see them on the website, but it's much more fun to page through. Thanks for tuning in, Jessie. I appreciate it. I think that was pretty much it. I announced on, I think I announced anyway, on my Facebook page. This month, I will be turning the big 50, and I want to celebrate that as much as I can. It's kind of a big one. So all month long, I'm going to be featuring something at least once a day relating to celebrations and birthdays and personal stuff, and I'll have you guys interact with me and celebrate my birthday with me, and there'll be some prizes involved and ways to earn product and stuff like that. So keep tuning in, and I will keep that updated daily. That kickoff is also going to start tomorrow, along with all the goodies in the celebration part 2 and the new July to December catalog. So I think that's going to be it for tonight, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you again next week. Bye.